On today's episode, we are going to be predicting what pedals will be on John's 2022 Saab Rock Tour pedalboard. So for today's episode, I thought it would be fun to try and just predict based on history and what gear we kind of know John is using right now for what pedals will make it on the upcoming pedalboard for Saab Rock. So I'm going to use the base layout from his last World Tour, being the 2019 World Tour. I'm going to use that base kind of layout and pedalboard in order to help predict the overall layout and kind of what the board might look like. So getting right on into it, understanding his boards and how they are kind of based around some key components. We know that the Ibanez TS10 as well as the Klon Centaur will for sure be on the board. These are staple drive pedals for John, and he even confirmed that these were used during the recording of Saab Rock. Staying within the mainstay category and kind of the basics for any Mayer board, we have pedals that are used for more specific songs but will always pretty much be on John's pedalboard. These pedals will include the Electro Harmonix Qtron Plus, the Strymon Flint, the Boss, CE2, the Providence Chrono Delay, as well as the Way Huge Aquapus. These 5 pedals are also mainstays and staples for John's rig. The CE2 as well as the Providence Chrono Delay are relatively new additions, but they're going to be mainstays on his boards, I feel like, for a very long time to come. As far as Electro Harmonix Qtron Plus and the Strymon Flint, those 2 pedals are ones you're always going to see. The Flint used for a bit of light reverb, as well as the tremolo for gravity, and the Qtron Plus for I Don't Trust Myself with Lovin' You. Those are 2 songs that we know for sure are going to stay in the set lists for the upcoming tour. So at this point we have 7 pedals, and these are kind of the core for his pedal board, and these are the ones that I will pretty much 100% say will be on the pedal board for sure. Now that we're past the fundamentals for the board and stuff that we can pretty much guarantee is going to be on it, this is where the fun part actually begins, and now we can kind of predict and guess a little bit at what else we're going to see. Let's start at the very beginning. So starting off at the very beginning, I believe the Polytune 3 is just going to stay on the pedalboard. That's been his main tuner since the 2019 World Tour. Easy enough to predict that that's probably what he's going to be sticking with. The 29 pedals Una, I do believe he's going to also be sticking with. That's another relatively new addition as kind of an input buffer as well as some different EQ settings. I think that is most likely going to be on his pedal board. Next, we're moving on to the wah pedal. Now, wah isn't really a effect that you heavily associate with John, but every major board of his does contain a wah pedal. He's stuck with the exotic XW1 wah pedal since the 2019 World Tour, and I don't think there's any reason why he would switch to a different wah pedal. It's pretty much the best one out there. Now, it's at this point we should probably start talking about clean boost. It's an effect that's heavily associated with John. Normally, we'd be talking about the Keeley Katana V1, and the last time we saw that pedal was during the interview with Zane Lowe for Apple Music. However, with Dead & Company, especially that, and as well as some of the other little one-off performances for Saab Rock, we've actually seen him using the exotic Super Clean in place of the Katana, as well as the JHS Prestige has been used as well. So for the main primary clean boost, I'm leaning towards the exotic Super Clean actually being what is used. Now, I do think we're probably going to see a Keeley Katana used, but maybe in the loop of the Qtron Plus. The next category I'd like to talk about is the third, overdrive. For any major pedal board, there usually is more than just the Klon and the TS10 on it in terms of drive pedals. Now, during the 2019 World Tour, we saw mainly the Mesa Boogie Flux 5 being used, which is a brilliant overdrive pedal with a lot of options on it. I'm not sure if we're going to see that again, but there is that mysterious yellow pedal that was on the Last Train Home Ballad pedal board. That might have been the Charlie Brown V4 from JHS, which John did experiment with during the 2017 World Tour. So I don't know if we're going to see that, but in place of a third drive, I'm just going to say Charlie Brown V4. Let's go with it. Now, it's at this point that we have to start to analyze what the set list will look like for this tour, because there are lots of different songs that require specific pedals in order to perform them properly. Now, compression isn't really a effect you heavily associate with John, but I do believe the Origin Effects slide rig will return from the 2019 World Tour pedal board. John was also using that for the Wild Blue performance that we saw, and I think that that is going to be used as well for Wild Blue during the tour, as well as just maybe any other compression or compression style boosts that he might need. So let's throw the Origin Effects slide rig on the board. Next, I do think he's going to continue to perform Love on the Weekend. It's one of the more popular songs on the Search for Everything album, so we gotta add the New Neighbor Slate as well onto the board. Lastly here, going back and talking about the Last Train Home ballad version, I do think he's probably going to perform both versions, and his kind of new favorite reverb pedal of choice lately has been the Universal Audio Golden Reverberator, so I do think that that will be on the pedal board for sure as well. One oddball pedal that John has stuck with for a while now but isn't really heavily used, it's just kind of whenever he feels like it, is going to be the Boss OC3. Now this pedal is not used for a guess, I just feel like I have to add that in there, but whenever John kind of wants a unique octave effect, he'll throw that on, and I think it's probably going to make an appearance on the board again. We're almost done here actually. We do need to add another delay pedal. The TES style delay is heavily associated with John as well. It's kind of been his main delay sound. And the Providence Chrono Delay, while it's a great digital delay pedal, it doesn't really do that TES thing. It's kind of a bit of a different animal. The last pedal that we saw John use in terms of the Cornish TES style thing was the Providence Delay 80s. Maybe he'll use that again for that style of delay in lieu of an actual TES. Let's throw the 80s on. Now, is there anything else I'm forgetting? Let's talk about the Ross Phaser Distortion. This is a really unique pedal that was actually present as well with the rig for the Last Train Home ballad. I think John might be messing around with it and experimenting. Maybe we'll see it on tour with him, so I'm going to throw that on the pedal board as well. One of the last things I think we might need to add is another chorus pedal, maybe a tri-chorus. While John does have the CE2, I feel like that's going to be mainly used for Last Train Home and set a very specific way. If he wants another flavor of chorus, he's going to need another pedal because he's not going to switch settings on the CE2 mid-set. So let's throw on the Free the Tone Tri-Avatar chorus. It's brilliant, and it seemed to be kind of the chorus he favored near the end of the 2019 World Tour. So we're going to throw that on the board just for a different flavor of chorus that's at his disposal. Even for some big outro solos, just as a texture to them, it could be used as well. Rounding off the board here, I think we need an output buffer as well. Now, it could be the Kirkland Booster 29 pedals O-amp. Might also come into play, although I doubt it. So we're just going to throw the Kirkland Booster on to round off the board. And there you guys have it. Let's summarize the whole board quickly. So we have the TC Electronic Polytune 3, the 29 pedals Una, the Exotic XW1, the Origin Effects Slide Rig, the Exotic Super Clean, the Klon Centaur, the JHS Charlie Brown V4, the Ibanez TS10, the Boss OC3, the Electro Harmonix Qtron Plus, Keeley Katana V1, New Neighbor Slate V1, Ross Phaser Distortion, Providence Delay 80s, Boss CE2, Free the Tone Tri-Avatar Chorus, Way Huge Octopus, Providence Chrono Delay, Strymon Flint, Universal Audio Golden, and the JHS Kirkland Booster. And there you guys have it. That is just a hopefully quick and fun little video to predict kind of what we might see for 2022 now that it's a new year. And I thought it'd be fun to make this video and then look back on it when the tour actually starts and we get to see John's board to see how accurate it is and what maybe got missed or what he changed compared to from the past performances to the actual big tour. So you guys leave a comment down below how accurate you think this might be. If there's anything you would change in your own predictions or you think I might have missed. I don't think I missed anything, but let me know in the comments down below. Nonetheless, thank you guys so much for watching.